Our heroine, Inim, continues the story of her life in this fourth part of the They Mocked Her for Being a Virgin, but series with the subtitle, Her Daughter Was Kidnapped by Her Former Friend. Years after Inim and Chinedu built their happy family, tragedy strikes. Their first daughter, Zara, is kidnapped on her way from school. Clues begin to surface, pointing to someone from Inim's past. Lulu, her former friend turned bitter and desperate. Lulu, now childless and drowning in debt, blames Inim for her misfortune and plots a cruel revenge. As the investigation unfolds, Inim must confront old wounds, navigate blackmail, and negotiate with dangerous criminals, all while holding her family together. In a heartbreaking twist, she's forced to make an impossible choice: save her daughter or risk the life of another child in danger. The sun rose gently over Lagos, casting a golden glow across the rooftops of Victoria Garden City. Birds chirped, the street vendors stirred, and inside the Obasi household, the day began like any other. Inim stood by the dining table, placing a bowl of pap and akara before her daughter, Zara. At just 9 years old, Zara was the joy of her world. Bright-eyed, witty, and the perfect blend of Inim's quiet strength and Chinedu's fiery intelligence. "Mummy, will you braid my hair like yours tomorrow?" Zara asked, tugging gently on her puff. Inim smiled. "Only if you promise not to untie it by lunchtime like last time." They both laughed, unaware that this would be the last peaceful breakfast for a long time. That afternoon, the school driver arrived at the gate, without Zara. "She didn't show up at the pickup point," he said nervously. "Her teacher said she stepped out early." Panic sliced through Inim like cold metal. Within minutes, she and Chinedu were at the school. The teacher confirmed Zara had gone to use the restroom before closing but never returned. The police were contacted immediately. Flyers went up. Social media posts circulated. Missing 9-year-old child, Zara Obasi. Last seen wearing a blue pinafore school uniform and white sandals. Every second that passed felt like a scream in Inim's chest. Her baby, gone. 2 days later, a brown envelope appeared at their gate. No return address. Inside was a photograph of Zara, bound and gagged, sitting in a dark room. Scrawled across the photo in red ink, "You took everything from me. Now I'll take everything from you." There was no demand for money. No ransom. Just vengeance. Detective Olawale, a seasoned officer with grey temples and tired eyes, studied the message carefully. "This isn't a typical kidnapping," he said. "This is personal." He questioned everyone: teachers, drivers, staff. But it was Inim who had the epiphany. She stared at the note again, her mind spinning. "You took everything from me." A name surfaced from the depths of her past. Lulu. Once her closest friend. Once the ringleader of the girls who mocked her for being a virgin. Once the girl who lived wild and fast, and eventually, painfully, fell apart. Years ago, after Inim married Chinedu, Lulu's life took a tragic turn. Multiple abortions left her unable to conceive. She spiraled into toxic relationships and crippling debt. She moved from city to city, scamming and surviving. Word had it she blamed Inim for everything, from stealing Chinedu to pretending to be better than the rest. Now, Lulu was back, with vengeance. Detective Olawale followed the lead. Inim, against her family's protests, insisted on joining him. They tracked Lulu to a rundown apartment in Mushin. But she was gone, vanished just hours before they arrived. What they found was chilling. Drawings of Zara taped to the wall, photos of Inim's family taken without their knowledge, even a page torn from Inim's old university journal, her handwriting circled angrily. "She's been planning this for years," Inim whispered. And then, they found something else. A second child. A little girl no older than 5, asleep in a cot. She was dirty but unharmed. Her name was Kyoma. Lulu had abducted her 2 months before. But unlike Zara, no one had come looking and she had gotten tired of taking care of the baby. Inim held Kyoma's trembling hands. "You're safe now, my darling." But as she looked at the girl, a new fear surfaced. If Lulu had been willing to kidnap one child to punish her, what would she do when cornered? The next day, a new message arrived, via voice note. Lulu's voice, cracked and bitter. I see you found my little helper. Cute, isn't she? I rescued her from the streets. No one wanted her. Just like no one wanted me. But now you're going to choose. Zara, or Kyoma. One goes free. The other, well, let's see if your God shows up this time. The world went still. Even the police were stunned. She's lost all sense, Olawale murmured. Inim broke down that night, crumpled on the floor of her living room. Mama Inim came in from the village, praying aloud, whispering Psalm 91 over her sleeping grandchildren. Chinedu raged, punching walls, threatening to tear the city apart. But it was Inim who made the decision. She called Lulu directly. I'll come alone, she said. Don't hurt either of them. I'm the one you want. Silence. Then Lulu's voice. Bring the girl. And no police. One of them stays behind. Inim arrived at the meeting point, a crumbling warehouse near the coast, at dawn. Kyoma clung to her hand. Inim's eyes scanned the darkness, heart pounding. Then Lulu stepped out. Older. Thinner. Her once stunning features now drawn and hard. But her eyes still burned with the same resentment. You look good, Inim, she said bitterly. Clean. Respected. Loved. I didn't steal your life, Lulu. No. You took everything I wanted. The grades. The praise. The man. The children. You destroyed yourself. And now you want to destroy me too. Lulu sneered, but her hand trembled. Zara appeared, pushed forward by a masked man. Tears stained her cheeks. Mummy. Inim's heart nearly gave out. You said one stays, Lulu said. Choose. I choose both, Inim said quietly. You don't have to do this, Lulu. It's not too late. Lulu's face cracked. For a moment, something human flickered. Then Zara screamed. The masked man pulled a knife. But suddenly, sirens, police, floodlights. Olawale had followed a GPS tracking of Inim's phone. Drop your weapons, the officers shouted. In the chaos, Lulu tried to run, but she was tackled. Screaming, cursing, crying. The masked man made to flee but was cut down by the police. He lay in a pool of his blood. Zara was safe. The trial was swift. Lulu was sentenced to life for kidnapping, endangerment, and assault. But Inim couldn't forget her face. Broken, bitter, yet strangely pitiful. Kyoma was taken into protective custody. Months later, after therapy and counseling, Zara began to smile again. She refused to sleep alone, clung to her mother often, and spoke little of the ordeal. But she was healing. One night, Inim tucked her in and whispered, You are brave. You are loved. You are safe. Mummy. Zara asked, Will Lulu come back? No, baby. Not ever again. And Kyoma. She remained in a children's home until the court finalized her adoption. By Inim and Chinedu. We couldn't leave her behind, Inim told the judge. She saved my daughter too. She deserves a home. Inim's story made headlines across Nigeria, and even reached elderly women's groups in London, Houston, and Toronto. They wrote to her, weeping as they praised her strength. One woman said, You remind me of how we used to raise daughters, with values, courage, and grace. Thank you for showing the world we are still here. Years later, as Inim watched her daughters graduate, Zara in law, Kyoma in child psychology, she thought of Lulu. Of how some girls, broken too early, lose their way. But she also thought of how one woman, once mocked for her purity, had raised warriors, through pain, love, and unshakable faith. Late one evening there was breaking news of a prison break. Lulu and some others had escaped.